Hi there, big truck, SUV, and lifted vehicle owners out there. Today we're going to be taking a look at Curt's 6-inch drop, 4-inch rise drawbar with a 2-inch ball. With 6 inches of drop, if you've got a larger truck or lifted vehicle, or even a larger SUV in some cases, depending on where your hitch is mounted on that vehicle, you may need a considerable drop to get down to be able to haul your trailer when it's level. 6-inch drops are typically for vehicles that are 20 inches or higher on their hitch height from the ground. 20 inches is still kind of towards the bottom end. 22 and higher is more common, but it does depend on the trailer that you're hooking to and how high that trailer is, because you want to try to make it as level as possible when it's loaded up and you're going down the road. And as you can see with our trailer here, 6 inches to drop when hooked up to this one gives us pretty close to level when we've got it hooked up. It does have a slight bit of rise up in the front, but that's because we're going to be loading this trailer down with some more weight, and we want to make sure that it comes down to be fairly level once we're hauling. And speaking of loading your trailer down, when it's in the drop position, you can handle a 750 pounds worth of tongue weight and 7,500 pounds of towing capacity. The tongue weight is the force going down on our receiver, and the gross towing capacity is how much that it can pull behind it. In most cases, a 6-inch drop, you're going to want that in the drop position, so that's how this does come shipped. It comes pre-installed with the ball on here and torqued to the appropriate specification. If you did need it in the rise position, you would have to remove the ball, flip the ball over, and then reinstall it, making sure to torque it down to the proper specification. We could then flip our ball mount, our drawbar over here, and put it in the rise position at that point. You do want to keep in mind though that when in the rise position, it does lower the weight ratings of our drawbar here. It brings our tongue weight down to 600 pounds and our gross towing capacity down to 6,000 pounds. Another thing you might notice is on the ball here, the ball itself is rated for 7,500 pounds. So when we're in that drop position, everything lines up and we're going to get the max capacity. When you have it in that rise position, even though the ball says 7,500 here, just be aware that in the rise position, your ratings do drop some. We do also have other balls available here at eTrailer, because maybe you've got a 2-inch coupler on one of your trailers, but maybe you got a small utility trailer or something that you want to use, or even maybe a bigger camper that you might want to use from time to time. You can remove the ball and swap it out with a different size. We've got 1 7/8 as well as 2 5/16 available for the 1-inch hole that is in our drawbar here. Now, if you didn't want to swap out the ball, but you just wanted a completely new drawbar that has a 2 5/16 in addition to a 2-inch like this, you can get the exact same drop and rise configuration with the exact same weight ratings in a 2 5/16 from here at eTrailer. That way it'll be all pre-assembled in the drop position for you. The drawbar is going to have a black powder coat finish on it to protect it against rust and corrosion, and I do like that in the drop it does have a bit of an angle here. That makes it a little bit easier when backing up your trailer, because you got a little bit of clearance between the drop portion and where the ball is. Some of the other manufacturers out there I've seen where their drop is fairly vertical, and what happens there is your ball, once you're backing up under the trailer, you don't got almost any clearance between the coupler and the end here, and it can lead to some minor collisions from time to time when you're hooking up to the trailer. So this is nice that they added a slant here for us. It's secured to the trailer using a 5/8" hitch pin and clip. The pin and clip does come included with the drawbar assembly here, so you have everything you need to hook up and get out there and start towing. I do recommend though to swap out this hitch pin with a locking one in the future, so that way you can protect your investments and make sure nothing walks away from your truck. When you're ready to use your ball mount, we'll begin by inserting it into our receiver. It is designed to fit into a 2-inch by 2-inch receiver. Our holes will then line up on the side here, and then we can secure it using the included pin and clip. So we'll slide our pin through and then clip it on the other side. Now at this point we can just back up and hook up. It is a good idea to put a little bit of lubrication around the ball here, so that way you don't have metal-to-metal contact inside the receiver here. It is a pretty good idea to have either an extra set of eyes here at the back to help you guide you back to back up, or we also have camera systems available here at eTrailer, so that way you can be the one looking at what's going on here in the back. We're going to put a little bit of multi-purpose grease on there before we lower our ball down. You can get some here at eTrailer if you need some. It comes in either tubes or buckets, whichever one is best for your particular needs. With this particular coupler here, we actually don't need to release it. It's an automatic coupler, so we get to just lower it down onto our ball. And of course our trailer does have a 2-inch coupler, so that's why we're using this particular ball and drawbar combination, because it's going to slide right onto our trailer here. And you saw the automatic coupler clicked itself right into place. Now, if you didn't have an automatic coupler, you would have wanted to have released it first and then make sure you latch it down after you've got it dropped onto your ball. We can then hook up our safety chains, making sure to cross those. So that way we've got a cradle here at the front, just in case there was a catastrophic disconnect. That'll act as a cradle to hold our coupler up off the pavement. And then you want to connect your electrical connections as well, whether it's a 4-way or a 7-way, those are the two most common. And here you can see why we're using such a large drop on this particular truck here, because we want to be able to haul our trailer level as it's going down. And if we look at it right now, we've got it slightly higher in the front than we do in the back, so as we load it up, that should help level it back down. And that completes our look at Curt's 6-inch drop, 4-inch rise drawbar with a 2-inch ball.